Well, happy birthday, Woodmont. Clay, thank you for giving me a moment to share a brief birthday reflection. You probably did that because my mom and my Uncle Frank lived in the mansion just to the north of us when they were kids with their parents, my grandparents, when my grandfather was the founding pastor of the church. And maybe because we have been in our family actively involved here for 5 generations. 4 generations will be represented in worship this morning, from my mom and my Uncle John to my granddaughter. So when I think about Woodmont, I think about young families and I think about kids. I love seeing the families and young kids here. I love the children's moment. I think that you can judge the health of a congregation by the young families and children. When we grew up in Sunday school and we grew up in youth group, and we had fun, and we learned a little, but we made great and lasting friendships. When I was a boy, I climbed through every nook and cranny of this church, from top to bottom. I've been everywhere. Well, I haven't been everywhere. I haven't been up in the steeple. I sort of wanted to go up in the steeple, but I'm kind of scared of heights. And I didn't go in the steeple. I opened the door. That door used to be open. I hope our risk managers don't let that door be open now, but I looked up in it and I couldn't go. But I've been everywhere else. And it's a cool old building. It's a cool place to go. Tom Schuyler's music is so important to all of us. When he sings in Take a Little With Me, with you when you go, when he says, take a walk around this building, that's meaningful to me. And I bet it is to you. Clay, you should think about adding on. We should build something. You should think about that. When I see all the young families and kids here, I think the church has accomplished a lot of what the founders had in mind: to build a church in this community for ourselves and for posterity. And I know they'd be proud of Clay and the leaders of this congregation who continue to build on the firm foundation that was laid so many years ago. This is an important church. It's important in this community with things like Walk Through Bethlehem. It's important in Nashville with things like Mobile Loaves and Room in the Inn and Habitat. It's important across the country, things like Adam Scott. And it's important around the world in places like Guatemala and places like Africa. So, Clay, those of us who've been here a long time will be here. We're still here. And we will continue to support you and the leadership of this great church in every way possible. So, from the Drewota and Carpenter families, happy birthday, Woodmont.